Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about 20 popular fairy tales. Fairy tales are part of our daily life around the world, but surprisingly, those are existing from the beginning of human civilization. Though nowadays we see different types of cartoons, people used to tell their children those fairy tales. Before the introduction of cartoons, those fairy tales were illustrated in a different way. We chose some illustrations of those popular fairy tales to demonstrate them towards you. So here are such 20 popular fairy tales. Hope you will be surprised to see this. Number 1. Aladdin. Aladdin is one of the most popular over the world, though it was the folk tale of Middle Eastern origin. Aladdin, his lamp, and the giant of the lamp are the incredible characters in the fairy tales Aladdin. Number 2. Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland is shortened name of Alice's Adventure in Wonderland. It is an English fairy tale which is written by Charles Lutwidge Dodgson. The tale tells a teenage girl whose name is Alice. Mainly the tale is named after her. In the tale, Alice falls in a rabbit hole by where she goes to a fantasy world populated by anthropomorphic creatures. Number 3. Cinderella. Cinderella is not the name of a young girl in a fairy tale. It is a dreaming character of thousands of young girls in the world. She represents millions of dreams of young girls through her role in the story Cinderella. Number 4. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. The original title of the Goldilocks and the Three Bears is The Story of the Three Bears. The story is written by Robert Southey, an English poet of the Romantic school. The tale was first published in 1837, which has 3 versions. However, in the first version of the tale, an old woman enters into the forest in the home of 3 bears whose behavior is so bad and rough. In the second version, a little girl enters into the room of 3 bears whose name is Goldilocks. And in the third version of the tale replaced the bear trio Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and the Baby Bear. Anyway, in the English language, the tale is one of the most famous fairy tales. Number 5. Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and Gretel is a German fairy tale that is also known as the tale of little brother and sister, published in 1812, and later the tale is illustrated by Arthur Rackham in 1909. In the tale, Hansel and Gretel are 2 young brothers and sisters who are kidnapped by a cannibalistic witch who lives in a forest. Number 6. Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood is the 10th century fairy tale of Europe. The tale is about a big bad wolf and a young girl. The tale is alive and comes mouth to mouth, and still retains its same priority to the children across Europe. Number 7. Peter Pan. Peter Pan is an immortal young boy of 14 years old. He is the protagonist and the leader of the Lost Boys in Neverland, a mythical eternal island. However, the supernatural as well as the fictional character is taken from the novel The Little White Bird, written by J.M. Barrie. In the novel, Peter symbolizes the eternally youthful innocence and escapism. Number 8. Pinocchio. Pinocchio is also a fictional character as well as protagonist, like Peter Pan in the children's novel The Adventures of Pinocchio, written by Carlo Collodi, an Italian writer, journalist, and humanist. In the novel, Pinocchio's nose grows frequently because of his tendency to lie. However, the character is one of the remarkable one in the children's literature. Number 9. Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots is an Italian fairy tale which is also known as Master Cat as well as Booted Cat. The European fairy tale is about a cat who uses cheating and fraud magic to gain power, wealth for his master so that the master can marry the princess. The writer of the fairy tale is Giovanni Francesco Straparola. Number 10. Rumpelstiltskin. The Rumpelstiltskin is a fairy tale which originated around 4,000 years ago. In 1889, the tale is illustrated by Andrew Lang. However, the tale begins with a lie by a miller. At the beginning of the story, a miller tells to the king that his young daughter can spin straw into gold. Then the king calls the miller daughter and demands her for gold. If she cannot spin gold from the straw, the king will cut off her head. If she can spin, the king will marry her. However, she can spin gold at last by taking the help of a mystical character. Number 11. Sleeping Beauty. The fairy tale Sleeping Beauty is also known as the Little Briar Rose as well as the Sleeping Beauty in the Woods. The fairy tale is about a cute princess and a smart prince. Number 12. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is a fairy tale. It is a famous story over the world. Snow White is a young princess. Her mother dies when she was born. After a few months, her father remarried. The second wife of Snow White's father was not well. Her stepmother tries to kill her again and again because she is beautiful than her stepmother. However, at last, Snow White is able to escape from her mother and live in a jungle with seven dwarfs. Number 13. The Emperor's New Clothes. The Emperor's New Clothes is not an exact fairy tale. It is a short satire story written by Hans Christian Andersen. In the story, a king wishes to wear a cloth which nobody wears before, but it was a difficult task to find out the clothes. Then the tailor gets a plan and makes his clothes without any garments. When he goes out to put on the invisible dress, nobody says that the king has no dresses on his body because of scaring him. At last, a child carried out that the king is naked. Number 14. The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid is a fairy tale which is written by Hans Christian Andersen. The tale is about a young mermaid who lives in an underwater kingdom with her father. Number 15. The Tortoise and the Hare. The Tortoise and the Hare is not exactly a fairy tale. It's a fable by Aesop, a storyteller as well as a slave. In the fable, a race sets up between the hare and the tortoise. The tortoise is so slow, he wins the competition. By the story, Aesop tries to give a message that slow and steady wins the race, like the slowest tortoise. Number 16. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. The fairy tale, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, is about a young girl named Dorothy who lives with her uncle and aunt and her little pet dog Toto. One day, they caught up in a cyclone and they fall in a magical land of Oz. The fairy tale is written by L. Frank Baum and later illustrated by W. W. Denslow. Number 17. Three Billy Goats Gruff. Three Billy Goats Gruff is a story about three goats, a baby goat, mama goat and a papa goat. One of the time, the living place of them is no grass left for them to survive. So they must cross a river and a hill to get grass and survive. Number 18. Three Little Pigs. The Three Little Pigs is a story about three pigs who build three houses of different materials and shapes. The two houses of them are destroyed by a big bad wolf except for the third one. Because third one made of straw and sticks, that's why it is unable to destroy by the bad wolves. Number 19. Thumbelina. Thumbelina is a fairy tale about a naughty boy and a tiny girl as well as her adventures. The fairy tale is written by Hans Christian Andersen, which was first published in 1835. And number 20. Ugly Duckling. The Ugly Duckling is also written by Hans Christian Andersen, which was first published in 1843. The tale begins with the eggs hatch of a mother duck. The story tells of a little bird born in a barnyard who abuses from others around him. So that's all about today, everyone. Thanks for listening and watching the whole video. Take care of yourself. Stay tuned. Goodbye.